guys? What is the Empty Space podcast? What do you guys think of the straight edge community?
Well,
Shit.
Steve is straight edge,
Are you
and
okay?
Yes, sir.
So do you
Yes,
do?
sir.
But do you do caffeine?
I do. Yeah, I do caffeine.
we
I, and
we had
me
a
and
talk.
me,
We had a talk with John Ryan about this. Go ahead. This is
yeah,
cool. This
we
is a
we
fun one.
talked JJR. We talked about it, man, and it was like a good 30 minutes on the whole straight edge thing, man. I think everyone has their own perspective on what
Mhm.
straight edge is, and I think there's so, especially now as we, in the 2023, there's just so many like. You could be, some people think like you're not straight edge if you have sex. You're not straight edge if you
Right.
have coffee. You're not straight edge if you do this or that. And to me, it's just like a mindset and a lifestyle. And I used to be so hardcore with straight edge when I first got into it. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, hardcore,
When I
like no
first met you,
caffeine.
yeah,
Yeah, it was nothing, dude. Like, I was just like, I would actually like almost like shit on people because they were this way. And that became unhealthy. And I realized, wow, this isn't what it's about, man. It's
you're
just like being
alienating
true to
yourself.
myself and being pure to myself. And for me, straight edge is just that, man. And like no drugs, no alcohol, and keeping it as clean as possible with that stuff, and try not to take any like, you know, medication that's not necessary for myself. And that was hard for me. Side note, I'll bring that up. When I got prescribed Zoloft for my anxiety, I literally had to call Batch, and I didn't take it for like 2 weeks because I was so scared of breaking edge. But it was like, that's not, to me, that's not, it took a lot, and it still hits me sometimes. It's like I'm taking something that's like not natural to change me, and that hit me. But it's not what it is, man. Like for me, it's different for everybody. So that's kind of it.
Batch, are you straight edge as well?
No, I'm well, I mean, I guess, but I'm sober now. So
Right.
like you find like even in the sober community, there's like different like
Mhm.
perspectives on that. There's like people you know, who are addicted to heroin and they say they're clean, but they drink. So it's like, are
Right.
you really sober? It's like that. But to me, it's like whatever allows you, like Steve said, whatever allows you to live the best version of you and best version of your life, then that's fine. Like if you have 2 or 3 beers a week and you don't shoot heroin anymore, like then you're good. Like, with me, there's I can't drink. I can't there what never was just one beer. It was always like we're going pedal to the metal 100%. Like we're getting
Mhm.
shit faced if we start drinking. And then it led to Coke and everything else. So I found sobriety about 3 years ago, and it's
Nice.
the best decision I made in my life so far. So
Well, you mentioned the Zoloft thing. A couple of years ago, I had appendix surgery. My appendix was rupturing, and they prescribed me. I actually got prescribed two different painkillers,
oh,
and
those are
the
good.
Mm.
and the pharmacist said, I don't know why they did this. If you take both of them, you could die. And I'm like, I don't even want them. Like
Right.
Wow.
I'll deal with the pain and take aspirin because I knew like I would get addicted to it. And
Yeah.
I've never smoked pot. I don't even drink hardly. Like we're talking, I can count on one hand how many times I drank last year.
Yeah.
And I've never smoked pot. I've never done a drug in my life. And when I tell people, I'm like, well, yeah, I'm pretty much straight edge. They're like, yeah, but do you drink caffeine? And I'm like, well, yeah. And they're like, no, then you're not straight. And I'm like, okay, I guess I can't join your club,
Yeah,
And
yeah,
To
exactly.
who? To who? Who is the god of straight edge? Like,
well,
Right.
well, you get those hardcore, like the minor threat crowd, like
yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
they're the
for sure.
gatekeepers of straight edge. And
Yeah,
and I'm like, man,
I think you should just be proud.
I want to join the movement because if you want to talk about a mental health issue, you know, I tell people this all the time. Alcohol and drugs is not going to change your life for the better. It's going to
Nope.
make it worse. And I've never met somebody who was addicted to a substance who had great mental health.
No,
Mm.
that's the thing. Yeah.
And, I know artists who these days they're like, oh, well, I smoke pot because it makes me creative. And then I know other artists who are like, it actually, we got more creative when we stopped doing all of that crap because we weren't so we weren't so reliant on something.
Mhm.
Right.
And it seems like in the punk community, you do have the I guess you do have the straight edge people. Then you have the people who are straight edge, but they won't call it straight edge.
Hmm.
And then you have the choking victims crowd and all them who are, you know, the fat Mikes of the world, those guys who very much prop up the party lifestyle, if you will.